Before you start worrying about your sleep, don't panic. Let's take a moment to understand what good sleep quality really means and why it's so important for your overall health. Sleep isn't just about closing your eyes for a certain number of hours. It's a vital process where your body and mind get the chance to repair, restore, and refresh. When you sleep well, your immune system strengthens, memories consolidate, and your mood stabilizes. On the flip side, poor sleep can lead to all sorts of issues like fatigue, reduced concentration, weakened immunity, and even higher risks for chronic conditions like heart disease and diabetes. Now, you might be thinking, I know I should sleep better, but what's standing in my way? Well, besides obvious things like stress or a noisy environment, there's a sneaky culprit that many people overlook: your diet. Yes, what you eat, especially close to bedtime, can seriously influence how well you sleep. And here's the surprising part. Some foods you might think are harmless or even healthy could be wrecking your sleep quality without you realizing it. Think of your body as a finely tuned machine. The fuel you put in can either help it run smoothly or cause it to sputter. When it comes to sleep, certain foods can interfere with your natural rhythms and processes. For example, some foods can increase your heart rate, raise your body temperature, or stimulate your nervous system, all of which make it harder to fall asleep or stay asleep. Others might cause digestive discomfort or trigger fluctuations in blood sugar, leading to restless nights. Identifying these foods is a key step toward improving your sleep hygiene. Once you know what to avoid or limit, you can make simple dietary adjustments that lead to better sleep patterns. It's not about cutting out everything you enjoy, but rather being mindful of timing and quantities. Small changes can have a big impact on your sleep quality and, by extension, your overall well-being. Many people don't realize this because sleep problems are often attributed to stress, screen time, or bedtime routines. While those are important, diet is a powerful yet often overlooked factor. For instance, eating a heavy meal late at night can cause indigestion, making it tough to drift off. Or consuming certain stimulants can keep your brain wired when it should be winding down. These effects are backed by scientific studies that explore how specific foods influence sleep physiology. Moreover, some foods contain compounds that directly affect neurotransmitters, chemicals in your brain that regulate sleep and wakefulness. Others impact hormones like melatonin and cortisol, which control your sleep cycles and stress responses. So, the foods you choose don't just affect your digestion or energy levels. They can tweak the very mechanisms that govern your sleep. But don't worry, this isn't about giving up all your favorite dishes or snacks. It's about learning which ones to watch out for and when to enjoy them. For example, having a cup of coffee in the morning is fine for most people, but drinking caffeinated tea late in the afternoon might disrupt your ability to fall asleep hours later. Similarly, a spicy dinner might be delicious, but if it causes heartburn or raises your body temperature, it can interfere with your sleep quality. The good news is that by being aware of these effects, you can take control of your sleep health. Adjusting your diet is a practical, manageable way to support better sleep without needing fancy gadgets or complicated routines. And because diet affects so many aspects of your health, the benefits extend beyond just sleep. You might notice improved energy during the day, better mood, and even healthier digestion. So, as we explore the surprising foods that could be wrecking your sleep, keep in mind that this is about understanding your body's signals and responding with kindness and care. Sleep is a natural process that thrives in the right environment, both inside and out. By paying attention to what you eat, especially in the hours before bedtime, you give yourself a better chance at restful, restorative sleep. In the next sections, we'll look at specific foods and ingredients that research has linked to negative effects on sleep. You might be surprised to find some common items on the list. But remember, knowledge is power. Once you know which foods to limit or avoid before bed, you can make informed choices that help you wake up feeling refreshed and ready to take on the day. Before we dive into the details, it's helpful to think about your current eating habits around bedtime. Do you often snack late at night? Do you drink tea or have sweets in the evening? Or maybe you enjoy a nightcap with dinner. These habits might seem harmless, but they could be quietly sabotaging your sleep. Recognizing these patterns is the first step toward positive change. Also, consider how your body reacts after eating certain foods late in the day. Do you feel restless, hungry, or uncomfortable? Do you notice waking up during the night or struggling to fall asleep? These clues can help you identify which foods might be problematic for you personally. Everyone's body is a little different, so tuning into your own experiences is just as important as the scientific findings. In summary, good sleep quality is essential for your health and happiness, and your diet plays a significant role in supporting it. Some surprising foods, often eaten without a second thought, might be standing between you and a night of deep, restful sleep. By becoming aware of these foods and making simple adjustments, you can improve your sleep patterns and overall well-being. So, before you reach for that midnight snack or cup of tea, remember that what you eat in the evening can have a big impact on how well you sleep. Stay tuned as we explore the first surprising foods that could be wrecking your sleep quality and learn how to make smarter choices for a better night's rest. Now that we've set the stage by understanding how your diet can influence sleep, let's talk about something many people already know but might underestimate: caffeine. When you hear caffeine, most likely you think about coffee. It's famous for giving you that morning boost or helping you power through a sleepy afternoon slump. But caffeine isn't just in your cup of joe. It hides in quite a few surprising foods and drinks that can sneakily disrupt your sleep quality if consumed too late in the day. Caffeine is a natural stimulant that works by blocking adenosine, a brain chemical that promotes sleepiness. This means when you consume caffeine, your brain stays more alert and awake. That's why it's great for a morning pick-me-up, but not so great when you want to wind down at night. The tricky part is caffeine's effects can last for several hours. Some studies show caffeine can stay in your system for up to 6 hours or even longer, depending on your metabolism. So, even a small caffeine hit late in the afternoon can delay your ability to fall asleep. But here's where it gets interesting. Caffeine isn't only found in coffee or black tea. Dark chocolate, some energy bars, and even certain herbal teas contain caffeine or similar stimulants. For example, dark chocolate, especially varieties with a high cocoa content, contains noticeable amounts of caffeine. Enjoying a few squares after dinner might feel like a treat, but it could be keeping your brain wired. Similarly, many energy bars or protein snacks marketed as healthy options include caffeine or guarana extract, a natural source of caffeine. Certain teas can also be surprising sources. Green tea, yerba mate, and matcha all contain caffeine, sometimes in amounts comparable to a cup of coffee. Even if you're switching from coffee to tea thinking it's gentler on your sleep, consuming these beverages too late in the day can still disrupt your sleep onset. According to a study published in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine, even moderate caffeine intake 6 hours before bedtime can significantly reduce total sleep time. So, it's not just about avoiding coffee at night, but keeping an eye out for all caffeine sources. What about decaffeinated coffee or tea? While they contain much less caffeine, they're not always completely caffeine-free. For sensitive individuals, even trace amounts might contribute to sleep disturbances. So, if you're struggling with sleep, it's worth paying attention to how your body reacts to these drinks, too. The effects of caffeine don't stop at making it harder to fall asleep. It can also reduce the amount of deep sleep you get, which is the most restorative stage of sleep. Deep sleep is crucial for memory consolidation, tissue repair, and immune function. A study in the journal Sleep found that caffeine consumption close to bedtime not only delayed sleep onset, but also decreased sleep efficiency and the duration of slow-wave sleep, which is the deep sleep phase. One of the reasons caffeine is so hard to avoid is that it's socially embedded in many routines. Afternoon coffee breaks, evening chocolate treats, or a boost from energy bars during a late workout are common habits. But if you find yourself tossing and turning or waking up feeling unrest, it's worth considering your caffeine intake throughout the day, not just in the obvious forms. So what can you do? First, try to limit caffeine consumption to the morning or early afternoon. The exact cutoff time can vary based on your sensitivity, but a good general rule is to avoid caffeine at least 6 hours before bedtime. That means if you usually go to bed at 10 p.m., try to have your last caffeinated drink by 4 p.m. It might be tough at first if you're used to that late afternoon latte or chocolate snack, but your body will thank you. Second, become aware of hidden caffeine sources. Check labels on energy bars, protein powders, and even some flavored waters. If you enjoy tea, consider opting for caffeine-free herbal blends like chamomile or peppermint in the evening. These can help you relax without interfering with your sleep. It's also helpful to experiment with your caffeine intake and notice how your sleep responds. Maybe you're more sensitive than you think, or perhaps you can tolerate a bit of caffeine earlier in the day without trouble. Keeping a sleep diary where you track what you eat and drink alongside your sleep quality can reveal patterns and help you make smarter choices. In some cases, people rely on caffeine not just for alertness, but to mask underlying sleep deprivation. This can create a vicious cycle. Poor sleep leads to more caffeine consumption, which then causes worse sleep. Breaking this cycle by reducing caffeine, especially later in the day, is a key step toward restoring healthy sleep patterns. Remember, caffeine affects everyone differently. Genetics, age, and lifestyle all play roles in how your body metabolizes it. Some people can drink a cup of coffee after dinner and sleep like a baby, while others might feel jittery and restless with even a small amount. That's why personal awareness and experimentation are so important. To sum it up, caffeine is a powerful stimulant that can delay sleep onset, reduce deep sleep, and fragment your sleep cycles. It's not just in coffee, but also found in dark chocolate, certain teas, and many energy or protein bars. Studies consistently show that caffeine consumption within 6 hours of bedtime disrupts sleep quality. By monitoring and limiting your intake, especially later in the day, you can improve your ability to fall asleep and enjoy more restorative rest. So, next time you reach for a late afternoon snack or evening treat, ask yourself, does this contain caffeine? If yes, consider swapping it for a caffeine-free alternative or saving it for earlier in the day. Your sleep will thank you for it. Up next, we'll explore another surprising category of foods that can interfere with your sleep: spicy foods. They might add flavor and excitement to your meals, but they can also cause some unexpected disruptions to your nighttime rest. Stay with us, and you'll learn why it's best to enjoy those fiery dishes earlier rather than later. Now that we've covered caffeine and its hidden sources, let's turn our attention to another surprising food group that can disrupt your sleep: spicy foods. You might love the kick of chili peppers or the heat of a spicy curry, but eating these kinds of foods too close to bedtime can make falling asleep much harder than it should be. Spicy ingredients, especially chili peppers, contain an active compound called capsaicin. This compound is what gives peppers their characteristic heat. Capsaicin does more than just add flavor. It can actually raise your body temperature and stimulate your metabolism. While a small boost in metabolism might sound like a good thing, it's not ideal when you're trying to wind down and prepare for sleep. Your body naturally cools down as part of the sleep cycle, signaling that it's time to rest. When your core temperature rises, it can disrupt this process, making it tougher to fall asleep. A study published in the journal Physiology and Behavior found that consuming spicy foods can increase your core body temperature, which may delay the onset of sleep. So, if you're eating spicy meals late at night, you might be unintentionally telling your body to stay alert and awake. But that's not the only way spicy foods can interfere with sleep. They can also cause indigestion or heartburn, especially if you're prone to acid reflux. When you lie down after a spicy meal, stomach acid can move up into the esophagus, causing discomfort and a burning sensation. This irritation can make it hard to fall asleep and can even wake you up during the night. Research supports this connection. A study in the Journal of Clinical Gastroenterology found that people who consumed spicy foods in the evening reported more frequent nighttime awakenings and difficulty falling asleep. The discomfort from indigestion or acid reflux can be a major sleep disruptor. Even if you don't experience heartburn, capsaicin can still stimulate your nervous system. It activates certain receptors in your body that increase alertness and metabolic rate. This heightened state is the opposite of what you want when you're trying to relax and doze off. So, that late-night spicy meal might be keeping your brain more active than you realize. This doesn't mean you have to give up spicy foods altogether. They're delicious and can have health benefits like boosting metabolism and providing antioxidants. The key is timing. Avoid heavy spicy meals close to bedtime. Ideally, have them earlier in the evening or during the day. This gives your body enough time to digest the food and cool down before you hit the sack. If you love spicy food but want to protect your sleep, try having milder versions of your favorite dishes at night or pairing spicy meals with soothing side dishes like yogurt or rice, which can help neutralize stomach acid. Also, paying attention to portion size can help. Large, heavy meals are more likely to cause indigestion, so smaller servings might be easier on your system before bedtime. It's also worth noting that everyone reacts differently to spicy foods. Some people might tolerate them well and sleep fine, while others may find any amount causes discomfort or restlessness. Listening to your body and noticing how you feel after eating spicy meals can help you figure out what works best for you. In addition to body temperature changes and digestive issues, spicy foods can affect sleep through their impact on your circadian rhythm, the internal clock that regulates your sleep-wake cycle. High heat and metabolism stimulation can send mixed signals to this clock, potentially disrupting your natural rhythms. To sum it up, spicy foods, especially those containing capsaicin, can raise your body temperature, stimulate your metabolism, and cause indigestion or heartburn, all of which can disrupt your sleep quality. Studies link late-night consumption of spicy meals to difficulty falling asleep and more frequent awakenings during the night. By avoiding heavy spicy dinners close to bedtime, you give your body a better chance to relax and settle into a restful sleep. So, next time you crave something spicy, consider having it earlier in the day or opting for milder versions as the evening approaches. This small change can make a big difference in how quickly you fall asleep and how deeply you rest. In the upcoming section, we'll tackle another common sleep disruptor that might surprise you: alcohol. Many people think it helps them sleep better, but the reality is quite different. Stick around to learn why alcohol is actually wrecking your sleep quality and what you can do about it. Now, let's talk about a topic that often confuses people when it comes to sleep: alcohol. Many believe that a nightcap helps them relax and fall asleep faster. After all, alcohol does have sedative properties, so it makes sense that it might ease you into sleep. But before you pour that glass thinking it's your ticket to dreamland, there's a lot more to understand about how alcohol really affects your sleep quality. At first glance, alcohol might seem like a sleep aid because it can reduce the time it takes to fall asleep. That initial sedative effect is why some people feel drowsy after a drink. However, this is only the beginning of the story. Alcohol disrupts the natural sleep cycle, particularly the REM stage, rapid eye movement sleep, which is the most restorative phase. REM sleep plays a key role in memory consolidation, emotional regulation, and overall brain health. When alcohol reduces REM sleep, your sleep becomes less refreshing. A study published in Alcoholism, Clinical and Experimental Research found that alcohol consumption before bedtime leads to fragmented sleep and a significant reduction in REM sleep during the first half of the night. This means that even if you fall asleep quickly, the quality of that sleep is compromised. You might wake up feeling unrefreshed or groggy, even after a full night in bed. Another common issue with alcohol and sleep is that it increases the likelihood of snoring and sleep apnea. Alcohol relaxes the muscles in your throat, which can narrow your airway and make it harder to breathe smoothly while you sleep. This leads to interruptions in breathing, causing you to wake up briefly throughout the night, often without realizing it. These micro-awakenings reduce your sleep quality and leave you feeling tired the next day. Research from the American Academy of Sleep Medicine highlights that people who consume alcohol before bed have a higher risk of sleep-disordered breathing, including snoring and obstructive sleep apnea. So, even if alcohol helps you fall asleep, it can cause more restless and interrupted sleep overall. Alcohol's effects on sleep don't stop there. It can also cause frequent trips to the bathroom during the night because it's a diuretic, increasing urine production. These interruptions further fragment your sleep, making it less restorative. Plus, as alcohol is metabolized, it can trigger a rebound effect that increases your heart rate and stimulates your nervous system, causing wakefulness in the second half of the night. Many people underestimate how much alcohol timing matters. Having a drink early in the evening might have less impact on your sleep than drinking right before bed. But even so, alcohol can affect your sleep hours later because your body is busy processing it. It's a good idea to avoid alcohol at least a few hours before bedtime to minimize its negative effects. It's also important to consider the quantity. Moderate to heavy drinking has a stronger impact on disrupting sleep cycles compared to light or occasional consumption. If you're struggling with sleep issues, cutting back on alcohol or eliminating it in the hours before bed can be a game changer. While some people use alcohol to help manage stress or anxiety, relying on it as a sleep aid can create a harmful cycle. Alcohol might temporarily mask sleep problems, but over time it worsens sleep quality and can contribute to insomnia. If you notice you're using alcohol regularly to fall asleep, it might be time to explore healthier relaxation techniques or talk to a healthcare professional. In summary, alcohol is a double-edged sword when it comes to sleep. It might help you fall asleep faster initially, but it disrupts the important REM sleep phase, causes fragmented sleep, increases snoring and sleep apnea risk, and leads to frequent nighttime awakenings. Studies consistently show that alcohol consumption before bed negatively impacts sleep quality. To protect your sleep, try to limit or avoid alcohol intake in the hours leading up to bedtime. If you do choose to drink, opt for earlier in the evening and keep quantities moderate. This simple shift can help you enjoy more restful and restorative sleep. Coming up next, we'll explore another group of foods that might be quietly sabotaging your sleep: high sugar and processed snacks. You might be surprised how much these common treats can affect your nightly rest. Stay tuned. Let's now dive into a category of foods that many people enjoy, especially in the evening: high sugar and processed snacks. These tempting treats might seem harmless or even comforting after a long day, but they can have some surprising negative effects on your sleep quality. Foods high in sugar and refined carbohydrates cause your blood sugar levels to spike quickly, then crash just as fast. This roller coaster effect can wreak havoc on your sleep continuity. When your blood sugar rises rapidly, your body releases insulin to bring it back down. But sometimes, blood sugar can dip too low during the night, triggering your body to release stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones can increase alertness and make it tough to stay asleep. A study published in the journal Nutrients found that diets high in sugar and refined carbs were associated with more frequent nighttime awakenings and less time spent in deep, restorative sleep. So, even if you fall asleep easily, sugary snacks can cause your sleep to be fragmented and less refreshing. Processed snacks don't just contain sugar. They often have additives, preservatives, and artificial ingredients that may interfere with your sleep hormones. For example, some preservatives and flavor enhancers can affect the production of melatonin, the hormone that regulates your sleep-wake cycle. Disrupted melatonin levels can delay sleep onset and reduce sleep quality. Another factor to consider is that sugary snacks can cause digestive discomfort. Eating these foods close to bedtime might lead to feelings of bloating or indigestion, making it harder to relax and fall asleep. This discomfort can also contribute to waking up during the night. It's also common for sugary and processed snacks to be calorie-dense but nutrient-poor. This means they don't provide the vitamins and minerals your body needs to support healthy sleep. For example, magnesium and calcium play roles in muscle relaxation and calming the nervous system. A diet high in processed snacks might leave you deficient in these important nutrients. So what's the takeaway? If you enjoy snacking in the evening, try to choose balanced options that are lower in sugar and higher in protein or healthy fats. These nutrients help stabilize blood sugar levels and provide sustained energy without the spikes and crashes that disrupt sleep. Some good evening snack choices include a small handful of nuts, plain yogurt with a few berries, or a slice of whole grain toast with avocado. These options can satisfy your hunger and support better sleep without the negative effects of sugar and processed ingredients. Also, pay attention to portion sizes. Even healthy snacks can interfere with sleep if you eat too much close to bedtime. Large meals or snacks can increase digestive activity and body temperature, which, as we discussed earlier, can make it harder to fall asleep. If you find yourself craving sweets at night, try to identify what's driving those cravings. Sometimes they're linked to stress, dehydration, or simply habit. Addressing the underlying cause can help reduce your desire for sugary snacks and improve your sleep. In addition, consider the timing of your last meal or snack. Eating earlier in the evening, at least 2 to 3 hours before bedtime, gives your body more time to digest and stabilize blood sugar levels. This reduces the chances of nighttime awakenings caused by blood sugar fluctuations. To sum up, high sugar and processed snacks can lead to blood sugar spikes and crashes, digestive discomfort, and interference with sleep hormones, all of which disrupt sleep quality. Studies show that diets rich in these foods are linked to more frequent awakenings and less deep sleep. Choosing balanced, low-sugar snacks and paying attention to timing and portion sizes can help you enjoy better sleep. Next, we'll explore another surprising group of foods that could be affecting your sleep: aged cheeses and other fermented foods. These might be common favorites, but they contain compounds that can stimulate your brain and delay sleep. Stay tuned to learn more. Finally, let's look at a group of foods that might surprise you: aged cheeses, and other fermented foods. These tasty treats are often enjoyed as part of evening meals or snacks, but they contain compounds that can actually interfere with your ability to fall asleep. One key player here is tyramine, an amino acid found in higher amounts in aged and fermented foods. Tyramine has stimulating effects on the brain because it triggers the release of norepinephrine, a neurotransmitter that promotes alertness and increases heart rate. This stimulation can make it harder to wind down and fall asleep, especially if you eat these foods close to bedtime. Aged cheeses like cheddar, blue cheese, Parmesan, and Gouda are known to have higher tyramine levels. But it's not just cheese. Other fermented products such as cured meats, soy sauce, sauerkraut, kimchi, and some types of pickles also contain significant amounts of tyramine. Even fermented soy products like miso and tempeh fall into this category. Research has shown that consuming tyramine-rich foods in the evening can delay sleep onset and reduce overall sleep quality. For people who are sensitive, these foods might cause restlessness or difficulty falling asleep. The stimulating effect of tyramine is somewhat similar to how caffeine works, though usually less intense, but still enough to interfere with your natural sleep processes. If you enjoy these foods, the best approach is to be mindful of when and how much you consume. Eating small amounts earlier in the day is generally less likely to disrupt sleep. But indulging in a big plate of aged cheese or a heavy serving of fermented foods right before bed increases the chance they'll interfere with your nighttime rest. In addition to tyramine, some aged and fermented foods contain other compounds that may affect sleep hormones or digestion. For example, histamines, which are present in many fermented products, can cause inflammation or allergic reactions in sensitive individuals, potentially leading to discomfort or disrupted sleep. If you notice that eating these foods in the evening is linked to restless nights or difficulty falling asleep, try reducing your intake or shifting them to earlier meals. Keep a food and sleep journal to track how your body responds. This can help you pinpoint whether these foods are contributing to your sleep issues. Being mindful doesn't mean you have to give up these flavorful foods entirely. They can be part of a balanced diet and offer benefits like probiotics and nutrients that support gut health. It's all about timing and moderation to make sure they don't interfere with your sleep. Incorporating these tips into your evening meals can help promote better sleep quality. Avoiding or limiting aged cheeses and fermented foods close to bedtime supports your body's natural ability to relax and transition into restful sleep. Now that we've explored several surprising foods that could be wrecking your sleep quality, from hidden caffeine and spicy dishes to alcohol, sugary snacks, and aged cheeses, you're better equipped to make informed choices. Remember, small dietary adjustments can lead to big improvements in how well you sleep and how you feel each day. Thanks for sticking with us through this deep dive into sleep-disrupting foods. Don't forget to check out more tips on improving your sleep hygiene and overall health. And if you found this helpful, hit the like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. If you love the story, like the video and subscribe.